The scale read to 187 pounds. I stared at those numbers through tears, knowing that at 24 years old, I was slowly killing myself. My knees ached with every step. I couldn't climb a flight of stairs without gasping for air. Dating was a distant memory, but the worst part, I had given up on myself completely. What happened next changed everything, and if you think you're too far gone, if you believe you'll never lose the weight, this story will prove you wrong. Because 2 years later, I stepped on that same scale and it read 187 pounds. This is how I lost 100 pounds and found myself in the process. My name is Jessica and I want to share the most transformative journey of my life with you. Not the Instagram perfect version you see in before and after photos, but the real, raw, messy truth about what it takes to lose 100 pounds when everyone, including yourself, has given up on you. I'm going to tell you about the moment I hit rock bottom, the day everything changed. The mistakes I made, the breakthroughs that kept me going, and the person I became through the process. If you're struggling with your weight right now, if you feel hopeless or overwhelmed, stay with me. Because this story isn't just about losing pounds, it's about finding strength you never knew you had. Let me take you back to where it all began. I wasn't always obese. As a child, I was actually quite active, dancing, swimming, playing outside until the streetlights came on. But when I turned 13, something shifted. My parents divorced, we moved to a new city, and food became my comfort. It started innocently enough. A bag of chips after school to deal with the stress of being the new kid. Ice cream while watching TV to numb the loneliness. Fast food dinners because my mom was working 2 jobs and didn't have time to cook. By high school, I had gained 60 pounds and was officially classified as obese. College made everything worse. Unlimited meal plans, late-night pizza deliveries, stress eating during finals, and zero physical activity. I gained another 40 pounds in my first 2 years. By the time I graduated, I weighed 270 pounds and had no idea how I'd gotten there. The worst part wasn't the physical discomfort, though that was real. It was the shame that followed me everywhere. I avoided mirrors, photographs, and social situations. I shopped exclusively online because trying on clothes in stores was humiliating. I turned down job opportunities that required presentations because I was terrified of standing in front of people. My dating life was non-existent. I had convinced myself that no one could ever find me attractive at this size. I spent Friday nights alone in my apartment, ordering takeout and watching Netflix, telling myself I was happy being single while dying inside from loneliness. The health problems started early. By 22, I had high blood pressure, prediabetes, and sleep apnea. My doctor warned me about the path I was on, but her words felt like distant thunder, scary but not immediate enough to change my behavior. The moment that changed everything happened on a Tuesday morning in March. I was running late for work, rushing to catch the bus, when I tripped on an uneven sidewalk. It wasn't a dramatic fall, just a stumble, but I couldn't get back up. My weight, combined with my poor physical condition, made it impossible to push myself off the ground gracefully. A kind stranger helped me up, but the humiliation burned through me. I looked around and saw people staring, some with pity, others trying not to look at all. That's when it hit me. I had become invisible in my own life, hiding behind my weight, making myself smaller in every way except physically. But the real breaking point came that evening. I was getting ready for bed when I caught my reflection in the full-length mirror, something I usually avoided. What I saw shocked me. I didn't recognize the person staring back. When had my face become so round? When had my body become so unrecognizable from the person I used to be? I stepped on the scale for the first time in months. 287 pounds. I sat on my bathroom floor and cried deep, gut-wrenching sobs that came from years of buried shame and self-hatred. I was 24 years old and felt like my life was already over. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed thinking about where I'd be in 5 years if nothing changed. 300 pounds, 350, diabetes? Heart disease? Would I even make it to 30? The thought terrified me more than the fear of failing at another diet. I made a decision that night that would change everything. I wasn't going to try to lose weight, I was going to save my life. Like most people who've struggled with weight, this wasn't my first attempt at losing weight. I'd tried every fad diet you can imagine: keto, paleo, juice cleanses, meal replacement shakes, pills that promised to block fat absorption, and even considered surgery. Each attempt followed the same pattern: initial enthusiasm, a few weeks of strict adherence, maybe 10 to 15 pounds lost. Then inevitable failure when life got stressful or the restrictions became unbearable. I'd regain everything I'd lost, plus more, feeling like a bigger failure each time. This time, I decided to try something different. Instead of focusing on quick fixes, I would learn about sustainable weight loss. I spent weeks researching, reading scientific studies, watching YouTube videos from certified trainers, and learning about nutrition from registered dietitians. I discovered that sustainable weight loss isn't about perfection. It is about creating a caloric deficit while maintaining muscle mass and establishing habits you can maintain for life. It sounded simple in theory, but I knew the execution would be the challenge. My first real attempt started with small changes. I replaced sugary drinks with water, started eating breakfast instead of skipping meals, and committed to walking for 20 minutes every day. For the first 2 weeks, I felt motivated and optimistic. Then reality hit. I was hungry all the time. My energy levels crashed. I felt cranky and deprived. The scale barely moved despite what felt like massive effort. After 3 weeks, I had a stressful day at work and found myself elbow deep in a family-sized bag of chips, feeling like a complete failure once again. But something was different this time. Instead of giving up entirely, I decided to learn from the failure. What went wrong? Why did I turn to food when stressed? How could I handle it differently? Next time, my real transformation began when I stopped trying to be perfect and started focusing on progress. I realized that my all-or-nothing mentality was sabotaging me. Instead of trying to overhaul my entire life overnight, I decided to master one small change at a time. Week 1, I committed to drinking 8 glasses of water every day. That's it. No other changes. It sounds ridiculously simple, but it was harder than I expected. I had to set reminders on my phone, carry a water bottle everywhere, and consciously choose water over other beverages. By the end of the week, it had become automatic. Week 2, I added a 15-minute walk after dinner. Again, just this one change. I didn't worry about speed or distance. I just walked around my neighborhood, listening to podcasts or music. Some days it was difficult to motivate myself, but 15 minutes felt manageable even on my worst days. Week 3, I started tracking my food intake using an app. I didn't restrict anything initially. I just wanted to understand what I was actually eating versus what I thought I was eating. The results were eye-opening. I was consuming nearly 3,500 calories per day, mostly from processed foods, sugary drinks, and mindless snacking. This gradual approach worked because it didn't trigger my perfectionist tendencies or make me feel deprived. Each week, I built on the previous week's success, creating a foundation of habits rather than relying on willpower alone. By week 6, I had established a routine: wake up, drink water, eat a protein-rich breakfast, walk for 30 minutes, track my meals, and drink water throughout the day. I hadn't made any dramatic dietary changes yet, but I'd already lost 12 pounds just from increased awareness and activity. The real breakthrough came when I decided to join a gym. I had been walking regularly for 2 months and felt ready for the next step. The thought of working out in public terrified me. I was convinced everyone would stare at the obese woman struggling on the treadmill. I chose a 24-hour gym so I could work out during off-peak hours when fewer people were around. My first visit was at 5:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. I wore baggy clothes, avoided eye contact with everyone, and headed straight to the treadmill in the back corner. I managed 10 minutes at a slow pace before I was completely winded. My face was red, I was sweating profusely, and I felt embarrassed by how out of shape I was. But I had done it. I had worked out in a gym for the first time in years. Over the following weeks, I gradually increased my time and intensity. 15 minutes became 20, then 25, then 30. I started experimenting with the elliptical machine and stationary bike. The cardio equipment felt safe and familiar. I could control the pace and intensity. After 6 weeks of consistent cardio, I noticed significant changes. My endurance had improved dramatically. I could climb stairs without getting winded. My sleep quality improved. Most importantly, I felt stronger mentally. Each workout was proof that I could commit to something and follow through. The strength training section of the gym intimidated me for months. It was dominated by fit, muscular people who seemed to know exactly what they were doing. I felt like I didn't belong there. But I knew that building muscle would be crucial for long-term weight loss and health. I hired a personal trainer for 4 sessions to learn proper form and create a beginner program. Sarah was a certified trainer who specialized in working with people who were new to fitness. She was patient, encouraging, and never made me feel judged. Our first session focused on bodyweight exercises and light dumbbells, squats, modified push-ups, assisted pull-ups, and basic core work. I could barely complete 2 sets of each exercise. But Sarah assured me that everyone starts somewhere. 3 months into my fitness journey, something clicked. Exercise stopped feeling like punishment and started feeling like self-care. I began looking forward to my morning workouts. They became my time to think, to challenge myself, and to prove that I was getting stronger every day. I established a routine that worked with my schedule and energy levels. Monday, upper body strength training and 20 minutes of cardio. Tuesday, 45-minute walk or light jog outside. Wednesday, lower body strength training and stretching. Thursday, Full body circuit training Friday, cardio of choice sometimes dancing, sometimes hiking. Saturday, active recovery yoga or a long walk. Sunday, rest day with gentle stretching. The strength training transformed my body composition in ways that cardio alone never could. As I built muscle, my metabolism increased, making it easier to maintain a caloric deficit. I started seeing definition in my arms and legs, my posture improved, I felt powerful in a way I'd never experienced before, but the mental changes were even more profound. Every workout was a small victory that built my confidence. When I increased my squat weight by 10 pounds or completed a full push-up for the first time, I felt capable of achieving anything. This confidence began spilling over into other areas of my life. I started meal prepping on Sundays, cooking healthy meals in bulk so I wouldn't rely on fast food during busy workdays. I learned to read nutrition labels and make informed choices about what I put in my body. I discovered that I actually enjoyed cooking and experimenting with new healthy recipes. 6 months in, I had lost 45 pounds and gained muscle mass. People started noticing the change and commenting on my transformation. Instead of feeling embarrassed about my body, I started feeling proud of what it could do. Month 7 brought my first major plateau for 3 weeks. The scale didn't budge despite consistent diet and exercise. I felt frustrated and tempted to give up, wondering if I had reached my body's natural limit. This is where many people abandon their weight loss journey, but I had learned enough to understand that plateaus are normal and temporary. I took progress photos, measured my body circumference, and tested my fitness levels instead of relying solely on the scale. The photos revealed that my body was still changing. Even when the scale wasn't moving, I was losing fat and gaining muscle simultaneously, which meant my weight stayed the same even though my body composition was improving. My waist measurement had decreased by 2 inches during those 3 stagnant weeks. I decided to shake up my routine to break through the plateau. I increased my strength training intensity, tried new forms of cardio like swimming and cycling, and adjusted my caloric intake slightly. Most importantly, I focused on non-scale victories, completing a 5K race, lifting heavier weights, and feeling more confident in my clothes. The plateau broke after 4 weeks, and the scale started moving downward again. This experience taught me valuable lessons about patience, persistence, and the importance of multiple progress metrics beyond just weight. Around month 9, I experienced a profound mental shift that was just as important as the physical transformation. I stopped seeing exercise and healthy eating as things I had to do, and started seeing them as things I chose to do because I loved and respected myself. This shift happened gradually through small moments of self-awareness. I noticed that I felt better physically and mentally when I ate nutrient-dense foods. I slept better after workout days. I felt more confident and energetic when I was taking care of my body. Self-care stopped feeling selfish and started feeling necessary. I also began addressing the emotional aspects of my relationship with food. I realized that I had been using food to cope with stress, loneliness, boredom, and anxiety for years. Exercise became a healthier way to process these emotions. When I felt stressed, instead of reaching for comfort food, I would go for a run or do a high-intensity workout to burn off the anxious energy. When I felt lonely, I would attend group fitness classes or go for walks in busy areas where I could be around other people. When I was bored, I would try new workouts or outdoor activities instead of mindlessly snacking. Therapy also played a crucial role in my transformation. I started seeing a counselor who specialized in eating disorders and body image issues. She helped me understand the root causes of my emotional eating and develop healthier coping mechanisms. We worked on challenging negative self-talk and building a more compassionate inner dialogue. Instead of calling myself fat and lazy, I learned to speak to myself with the same kindness I would show a friend facing similar challenges. One of the most important factors in my success was building a strong support system. Weight loss can feel isolating, especially when your old social activities revolved around food or sedentary behaviors. I started by connecting with online communities of people on similar journeys. Social media platforms and fitness apps allowed me to share my progress, get encouragement during difficult times, and celebrate victories with people who understood the struggles. At the gym, I gradually became friendlier with other regular members. We would nod and smile in passing, then eventually started having brief conversations about workouts and fitness goals. Some of these casual acquaintances developed into genuine friendships. I joined a local hiking group that met every Saturday morning. This gave me both social connection and physical activity in a supportive, non-judgmental environment. The group included people of all fitness levels, and everyone was encouraged to go at their own pace. My family's support was mixed initially. Some members were genuinely encouraging and proud of my progress. Others seemed threatened by my changes or worried that I was becoming obsessed with fitness and healthy eating. I had to learn to set boundaries and not let others' insecurities derail my progress. Month 12 brought new challenges I hadn't anticipated as my weight loss became more visible. I received a lot of attention and comments about my appearance, while most were well-intentioned compliments. They made me uncomfortable in unexpected ways. People would ask about my secret as if there was some magic solution I had discovered. When I explained that it was consistent exercise, portion control, and lifestyle changes, they seemed disappointed. Many wanted a quick fix rather than hearing about the daily commitment required. Some comments were more problematic. People would say things like, "You look so much better now," or "You must feel so much better about yourself," implying that my worth as a person was tied to my appearance. While they meant well, these comments reinforced the idea that my value was connected to my weight. I also struggled with loose skin as I lost weight. No one talks about this aspect of significant weight loss, but it's a reality for many people. My arms, stomach, and thighs had excess skin that wouldn't snap back despite my young age and gradual weight loss. Initially, the loose skin made me self-conscious and disappointed. I had worked so hard to transform my body, only to face new insecurities about my appearance. But eventually, I learned to view it differently. The skin was evidence of my incredible journey and transformation. Staying motivated for over a year required constantly evolving my approach and finding new sources of inspiration. What motivated me in month 3 was different from what kept me going in month 12. Initially, I was motivated by the scale moving downward and clothes fitting better. Later, I became motivated by strength gains, improved performance, and how exercise made me feel mentally. Progress isn't linear. There were plateaus, setbacks, and weeks where nothing seemed to work. Learning to persist through these challenges was crucial for long-term success. Mental transformation is as important as physical transformation. Changing my relationship with food, developing healthy coping mechanisms, and building self-confidence were just as important as the physical changes. Support systems matter, whether it's family, friends, online communities, or professional help. Having people who understand and encourage your journey makes the process less isolating and more sustainable. Maintenance requires different skills than weight loss. The habits and mindset that help you lose weight aren't necessarily the same ones that help you maintain the loss. Be prepared for this transition and adjust accordingly. Your worth isn't determined by your weight. This was perhaps the most important lesson. I learned to value myself for my strength, determination, kindness, and other qualities that had nothing to do with the number on the scale. Throughout my journey, I've heard countless reasons why people believe they can't lose weight or change their lives. I want to address some of the most common concerns. I don't have time to work out. I understand this concern because I felt the same way initially. But I learned that even 15 to 20 minutes of daily movement can make a significant difference. I worked out at 5:30 a.m. before work, took walking meetings when possible, and used lunch breaks for quick gym sessions. Time is often about priorities rather than availability. I can't afford a gym membership. While I did eventually join a gym, my transformation began with free activities like walking and bodyweight exercises at home. YouTube has thousands of free workout videos for every fitness level. Parks often have walking trails and exercise equipment. Creativity and consistency matter more than expensive equipment. I've failed so many times before. Every person who has successfully transformed their life has also experienced failures. The difference is that successful people view failure as information rather than evidence of their inadequacy. Each failure taught me something valuable about what didn't work, bringing me closer to finding what did. I'm too old, young, busy, stressed to change. There's never a perfect time to start taking care of yourself. Life will always present challenges and obstacles. The question is whether you'll let those circumstances control your health and happiness or whether you'll take action despite them. One of the most unexpected aspects of my transformation has been watching how it affected the people around me. My changes created a ripple effect that inspired others to examine their own relations with health and fitness. My sister started running after seeing my progress and has since completed several marathons. My mother joined a senior fitness program and has significantly improved her strength and balance. Several co-workers have started bringing healthy lunches and taking walking breaks during the day. Even people who initially seemed resistant to my changes eventually began asking questions about my routine and seeking advice. I learned that transformation isn't just personal, it gives others permission to believe that change is possible for them too. This ripple effect extended beyond just fitness and weight loss. People noticed my increased confidence, energy, and positive attitude. They started coming to me for advice about other challenges in their lives. recognizing that the skills I had developed during my transformation were transferable to other areas. While my primary goal was weight loss, the impact on my mental health was equally transformative. Exercise became my therapy, my stress relief, and my confidence builder all rolled into one. I had struggled with anxiety and mild depression for years, often using food to cope with difficult emotions. Learning to process feelings through physical activity was a game changer for my emotional well-being. The gym became a safe space where I could work through frustrations, fears, and challenges. When I was angry, I would do high-intensity cardio. When I was sad, I would focus on strength training to remind myself of my power. When I was anxious, I would do yoga or go for long walks to clear my mind. This shift in coping mechanisms had profound effects on all areas of my life. I became better at handling workplace stress, relationship challenges, and life transitions. Instead of eating my feelings or avoiding problems, I learned to face them head-on with the confidence I had built through consistent exercise. If you're inspired by my story and ready to start your own transformation, here's my practical advice. Week 1 to 2. Focus on hydration and movement. Drink more water and add 15 to 20 minutes of daily walking. Don't worry about diet changes yet, just establish these two basic habits. Week 3 to 4. Start tracking your food intake. Use an app to log everything you eat and drink. Don't restrict anything yet, just develop awareness of your current patterns. Week 5 to 6. Add strength training. Start with bodyweight exercises or light dumbbells 2 to 3 times per week. YouTube has excellent beginner workouts you can do at home. Week 7 to 8. Create a sustainable eating plan based on your food tracking. Identify areas for improvement. Focus on adding nutritious foods rather than restricting everything you enjoy. Month 3 and beyond. Adjust and evolve as you build consistency. Gradually increase workout intensity, try new activities, and continue refining your nutrition approach. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Focus on building habits that you can maintain for life rather than pursuing quick fixes that won't last. Setbacks are inevitable during any transformation journey. I experienced my share of challenges, injuries, and periods of decreased motivation. The key is learning to navigate these obstacles without abandoning your goals entirely. When I sprained my ankle during month 14, I couldn't do my regular cardio routine for 3 weeks. Instead of using this as an excuse to stop exercising entirely, I focused on upper body strength training and seated exercises. I maintained my momentum even though my routine looked different temporarily. During a particularly stressful period at work, I found myself stress eating and skipping workouts for almost 2 weeks. Instead of viewing this as a complete failure, I acknowledged the setback, identified the triggers, and created a plan to handle similar situations differently in the future. The most important lesson about setbacks is that they don't erase your progress or mean you're destined to fail. They're simply part of the process of creating lasting change. The people who succeed long-term are those who learn to get back on track quickly rather than those who never face challenges. If my story has inspired you, motivated you, or given you hope that change is possible, I want you to take action today. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not after the holidays. Today. Start with something small. Drink an extra glass of water. Take a 10-minute walk. Do 5 push-ups against the wall. Choose one small action that moves you in the direction of the person you want to become. And if this video has helped you, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I share new content every week about fitness, weight loss, and personal transformation. Your subscription helps me reach more people who might need to hear this message of hope and possibility. Share this video with someone who's struggling with their weight or has given up on themselves. Sometimes all it takes is one story, one example of what's possible, to spark the belief that change is achievable. Leave a comment below sharing your own journey, your struggles, or your goals. I read every comment and respond to as many as I can. Let us build a community of people who support each other's transformations and refuse to give up on themselves. 3 years ago, I was a woman who had given up on herself, who believed that obesity was her destiny, who felt powerless to change her circumstances. Today, I'm living proof that transformation is possible at any age, any weight, any level of fitness. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond help. You are not destined to stay exactly as you are today. You have the power to change your life, one choice at a time, one day at a time, one workout at a time. Your body is capable of incredible things. Your mind is stronger than you know. Your future is brighter than your current circumstances suggest. The person you're meant to become is waiting for you to take the first step. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect motivation. Start where you are, with what you have, exactly as you are today. Because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that step can happen right now. Thank you for watching my story. Thank you for believing that change is possible. Now go prove it to yourself. Start today. Start small. But start. I believe in you, and I can't wait to hear about your own transformation story. Tell us which country or city you're watching from. See you in the next video. Bye.